Now, when London won the battle to host the 2012 Olympics, it wasn't just about the Games themselves, but a chance to regenerate a struggling area and create a legacy of sporting facilities for generations. But critics disagree, like the author Ian Sinclair, whose new book charts the rich history of East London. He says all that will be destroyed by soulless corporate developments.
Behind us, as debts mount, so climbs the Olympic Stadium. This is the epicentre of the whole development. Blight around us panoramically, more and more expense all the time. We're mortgaged to a future of Westfield shopping development over there, Olympic site, and a demolition of everything that was here before. All the local spirit, and it's gone.
And who is going to gain? The great corporate giants whose names are there boastfully on the fences, the McDonald's, the Cadburys, the Coca-Cola.
We're on Dalston Lane, which was once a heart and not a hub. It was where everything really buzzed and fizzed in Dalston. There were cafes, there was the Ridley Road Market.
They've demolished 120 years of history in Dalston for this short event, and we're going to be stuck with these 20-storey tower blocks in Dalston maybe for 20 or 30 years until, like the old Holly Street estate that was here, they'll need to demolish it because they're building the slums of the future.
The prime example of the top-down approach is what happened with Manor Garden allotments, where a community that was fulfilling every criteria was broken up to become part of the perimeter fence, and the people expelled to the bleakest, dampest, most God-forsaken part of the marshes.
This is quite shocking to see the new Marsh Lane allotments. It's a devastated zone, it's drowned.
We have to try to persuade them, and I think this is where we're at with thinking about the legacy, that we need to persuade them that this doesn't work to just overlay on us what they think is functional and beautiful. It has to be about investing in us and letting us come up with the solutions.
We're in the heartlands of the Olympics now. We're right on the edge. It's like the Berlin Wall.
The legacy is uniformity, it's dullness, it's storage boxes, it's a kind of globalization.
What we're looking at here is the future, and it's the point where the virtual collides with the actual. The bills for all this are already astronomical. We can't afford this. We've created an enormous hole, and we're still digging.
The writer Ian Sinclair. Well, I caught up with the Olympics Minister Tessa Jowell and put to her that the real winners are not the people of Britain, but global corporations.
This is a criticism that can be made of any Olympic Games, almost any Premier League football match, any global sporting event. And yes, the corporate sponsors put a lot of money into the Games. I mean, in total, between 700 and 750 million will come from corporate sponsorship. And yes, they expect something back from that. But I don't know whether Ian Sinclair has been to the exercise and gym zone that Adidas have established in Newham, one in each of the 5 Olympic boroughs, incredibly popular, part of the investment in those boroughs. The second part is about Westfield. It will be a destination not just for people from the 5 boroughs, but from across London. And actually, not only, I mean, Ian Sinclair probably doesn't like shopping. Millions of people do, and for millions of people, it's the leisure activity they enjoy. The other thing to remember is that the Westfield development and all the associated commercial building will bring 38,000 jobs to that area.
Are you sure that these billions and billions are being spent on the best thing that they could be?
Yes.
Given the recession?
Yes, this is being spent, and you know the Olympic budget is 9.325 billion. The budget for developing the Olympic Park, 6.1 billion plus access to up to £2 billion worth of contingency. 75p in every pound that's being spent is being spent on regeneration. There'll be 50,000 homes. There will be in effect a new small town with the inward investment, jobs, families living there, all the infrastructure.
What about this big stadium that nobody seems to want after the Olympics?
Well, that's again, absolute nonsense. The stadium, first of all, in order to make sure that the stadium doesn't become a white elephant, it will be reduced in size after the Games from an 85,000-seater stadium to a 25,000-seater stadium. It will be a Grand Prix athletic stadium.
You sound quite irritated by all the carping. And it's only going to get worse, isn't it?
Of course it's going to get worse, but that's part of, that's part of doing the kind of job I do. I am passionate about this. I believe in it. If you'd said to me 10 years ago, do you know what your great mission is going to be, in 10 years' time? It's going to be the Olympic Games. I would have been absolutely amazed. But you see, for me, I am a Labour politician. This is a proxy for so much of what I believe in.
If David Cameron decided to do an Obama and offered you the job of staying on in a Conservative administration to do the Olympics, would you do it?
Well, I will just decline to accept your invitation to answer such a question. I'm a Labour politician.
Tessa Jowell, the Olympics Minister. We're back noon tomorrow. Till then, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.